What's going on, all you finicky fruit baskets? My name is Mason.
And I'm Alex.
I'm Davis.
And welcome to FU Fantasy Football Podcast.
Fantasy.
Who fantasy?
Hey!
Still workshopping.
Ladies and gentlemen, Week 3 he is in the books. We had a double header last night on Monday Night Football, and Alex is already shaking his head.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big week for fantasy polling. There were in both. Well, no, in all of my leagues, there was multiple teams that had like over 160 points, which is just wild. And a bunch of teams that were wildly over like 140. It was a banger, to say the least.
Wow.
Gentlemen, how did your weeks go? How was your anxiety level? How was your confidence level in your teams?
Those are all different questions.
Yeah, it's about the same as it was.
The anxiety levels, astronomical.
I'm feeling very confident in one league, and then I need some help in the other two, I think.
Go for it, Davis.
I was going to say, I have the pleasure of being in 4 leagues. I went 1-3, which is never what you want. And kind of the same thing Alex said. I feel real frisky about one, the 10-teamer we're all in. And then
that seems really good.
The other ones are a little bit of a struggle, guys, to be honest with you. So we got some work to do.
Yeah, I actually feel pretty good, and I think I feel least good about our main league, just because of injuries and some studs not producing. But my other leagues, even though I'm 3-0 in one league, I'm 2-1 in 2 leagues, and I'm 1-2 in 1 league. But the one that I'm 1-2 in, I feel pretty good. But in the one I'm 2-1 in, I'm kind of like nervous. Honestly, when Barkley comes back, I'll feel a lot better. And hopefully, I heard a thing on Barkley, speaking of, that they're flip-flopping that it might be a high ankle sprain. Did y'all hear that?
You know, I'm very confused about that because they're kind of treating Eckler's the same way, where it's like a high-ish ankle sprain. I did not know that I knew there were multiple grades, but I did not know that, it could be like a mid-range ankle sprain.
Yeah,
it's the middle of the park.
Yes. It's a mid-range ankle sprain.
He's usually pretty forward about what he's going to do, and he didn't go to IR, so I'm pretty sure he's probably going to be back this week. Barkley, they're kind of saying all sorts of weird stuff.
I've just heard so many different things. If he comes back, I'll feel a lot better. But I've got depth at some positions. I just need those depth players to actually show up a little bit. My starters are fine for now. My first 2 weeks, I absolutely dominated, and then this week my team shit the bed. But they all did it together, which was good. So it's I can't feel horrible that it's not like I had half the team my guys do well and half of them do horrible. They all just decided to do terribly. So
one thing speaking of Eckler, thinking he might come back this week, they do have a week 5 bye, which I didn't realize until earlier today. So if it were me, I'd hope that they would keep him out just a couple weeks to heal. But we never know, guys. We never know.
They got a run game without him, though.
Well, they don't have much without him.
Joshua Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeesh. Guys suck.
Yeesh. All right. Well, since we're in the mood to rant about people, Alex, why don't you start us off? Keep that going.
Yeah. Are we?
You rants. Let's go. Fuck you.
Are we going to get good football this year, or are we just going to watch shit games one after the other, after the other? And also, why is the good football coming from the Arizona Cardinals and not Mike Tomlin or?
I was so upset about that, man.
Or these awesome coaches. You're getting this amazing football from the Cardinals and the Colts and the Texans. They're playing super well, and then you got the even though the Steelers are 2-1 and they're winning the North right now. It's ugly football. The Eagles are playing ugly football. The Ravens are playing ugly football. The Bills are playing ugly football. They're just kind of winning with talent. Can we get some good football, please, from these great teams? It's Miami and San Francisco, and that's about it with great football.
The Chiefs got to get it after week 1, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
How can you say that about great football when Jets and Patriots happened this Friday? Just thought we understood what quality was.
Yeah, oh my God. Slobber knocker.
Easy game, man. I don't want to watch this shit anymore.
That's what that was.
Yeah, God, it's bad. Davis, what do you have? What's making you? What's grinding your gears? What's tickling your taint?
Oh, so many things, but the main thing. I've used this one before. I'm going to bring it back because it keeps happening. Why are we running Joe Burrow out there, guys? He's not right. He's not right now. Now I'm going to say I understand it from the point that they probably would have been 0-3. And they had to salvage something. But man, you just signed this man to the most guaranteed money, I think, of any sport, right? Or something of a major contract in the NFL, and he can barely walk. He's probably not going to practice at all. I hope he doesn't practice at all this week. He did finally feed Jamar Chase, so we got back on the train with that this week. 11 catches, 143, I believe. Whew. But hot diggity, y'all. He was averaging about 5 yards a throw, and he threw the ball 51 times. So that's not what we're trying to do here. I don't know what the other option is, but why are we running this man out when he is very clearly not right and has not been for 2 months now?
Couldn't agree more.
Agreed.
Jamar Chase said it best in preseason. That
said it again like 3 days ago.
Yeah,
that'll be fine.
It is good to see the offense clicking, even if it's dink and dunk. I think he had one pass that actually was caught more than 10 yards down the field. Mm-hmm. But then the other passes that he did throw down the field were wildly inaccurate. Yeah. So if I was a Bengals fan, I would want them to sit him too. I think it's good that they got the win, and I'd be like, all right, let's take a beat. They can beat here. Who do they play next? Do we know?
They have Tennessee next. So we've already talked about how that game will go. As it has gone all year, but man, it just get this man.
I still don't like that.
On the bench a couple days.
Their secondary is so bad, and I don't even know if they're going to be able to take advantage of it because he can't throw the ball more than 10 yards down the field. So
right.
I will say they gave him a clean pocket yesterday. He barely got touched.
Yeah, no, they did well pass protecting, and also what the Rams.
Yeah, which is good because I think he would have snapped in half.
He can't move. Just keep on blitzing him up the middle, man.
Yeah,
man, we were so high on. Yeah,
Stafford.
We were so high on Stafford going into this week, and was not there.
That defense is legit again, man. They got it together last week or yesterday, I should say.
Excuse me, 12 passes for Jamar. It's not 11.
Woo. My FU rant has everything to do with me. I hate myself. I have stupid fat fingers, and when I tried to make a bet yesterday to salvage my day betting, I mashed the wrong button. I hit the under instead of the over on in-game Stafford getting a touchdown, and my fat fingers hit the wrong damn button, and my stupid brain's stupid. And so I bet the wrong thing, and I was so happy. Alex and I were watching the game together. I was like, let's go. We got it. I'm going to make a little bit of money because I've had some bad bets that didn't go my way. And then it was the wrong one because I hit the wrong one. So I'm upset with myself. So, ow. Yeah. Luckily, still came out $2.70 on top for the weekend. So we didn't lose money.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds like you made money, if you ask me.
Exactly. It was some, but not as much as I was hoping for. A whopping $3.
Yeah.
So F you, Mason, you stupid idiot.
Oh, yes.
Well, without further ado, self-hate aside, let's move on to some waiver wires, shall we?
Let's do it.
Waiver wire. So again, it's around 50% what we're looking at. 50% or less owned. If there's guys that are a little close, we can talk about them too. But we're gonna go off of that. So to start us off, let's do the running backs because I think it's pretty easy and it's a smaller group. But let's start with the obvious one. Davis, why don't you go ahead and say what everyone is thinking? Top waiver wire ad of the week.
Oh yeah, it's obviously Ty Chandler with the. No, I mean it's for sure Devon Achane. I hear he wants his name pronounced
Right.
Achane now.
Achane?
And the dude, yeah, apparently I had him on a sleeper. I've been high on him all year. The guy was a monster at A&M, but definitely some points for hesitation there. One, they scored 70 points. That ain't happening. Well,
No.
most likely it's not happening again. Two running backs accounted for 8 touchdowns. Definitely, almost certainly, again, we're not Sith. We don't deal in absolutes here. Almost certainly not happening again.
Nerd.
I know, man. Just give me time. I haven't even put stuff on the wall yet.
I know.
But you still can't ignore the potential. He's out there in so many leagues. I had it pulled up. It's 16.5% of ESPN leagues right now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So he is available. Mason, you said yesterday you don't think you would go super whole hog on free agent budget on him. I don't blame you for that. I think you could probably go a little higher than what you're suggesting was like 10 or 15 bucks. I'd probably look at 20 to 30% of what you got left.
I think if you want to actually get him, you're going to need to put probably like 30% of your FAAB, on it, which I don't think is bad because at this point, some of the other dudes have the potential game winner or league winners like Nakua and Ford have already gone, and lots of people already spent money. So I think he's still worth that.
Yeah,
probably like 25 to 30 bucks. I would say.
What you're scared of here is that he played because Salvan Ahmed was out. Mm-hmm. He played in part because Jeff Wilson is still on IR. He'll be back for week 5. Has a good track record, especially with the Shanahans and McDaniels. But that offense also loves 2 receivers, and they love 2 fast receivers. And we said yesterday, Achane and Tyreek Hill have like 5 of the 6, and Raheem Mostert even have like 6 of the 7 fastest speeds.
They have 4 of the fastest guys in the NFL on their team.
So they're going to go do that whole NASCAR offense like the Giants did with their defense. Get him on your bench, man. If he gets 10 carries a game, he's going to have value. I wouldn't start him next week. Let him see what happens, but you got to at least make a shot at him.
No, I think that's a great take, because I don't think that he's going to be startable, and I think it's going to be very hard to decide when to start him unless you're in deep leagues. But he will have value, and he will get some run at some point. Again, Mostert has yet to finish. I think I can't remember the last time he played 10 games.
He's on a weird streak right now. Like he's like 15 games in a row or something.
Yeah, I mean, good for him. If you have Mostert like Alex did, I traded Achane to him for Roschon Johnson, and right now it looks like Alex is winning that trade.
Yeah,
but Roschon has a clear path to a starting role.
Yeah.
Now that offense is atrocious. It's literally the worst offense versus the best offense. Yeah. So there's going to be the touches are going to be more valuable for Achane potentially, but who knows? I think if you rolled Achane out next week, I think you'd probably be slightly disappointed. But even if you played him next week, I think it's like you said, Wilson comes back.
Right.
They're not going to score 70 points a game. There's a potential that he gets you double digits any given week, but I don't know how much more than that, really.
He's Jaylen Warren right now, I think. I mean,
the message is temper expectations, but I also think this is going to be very indicative of where NFL running games are going, or running back rooms are going, which is we're not doing the bell cow thing anymore. I think you have Tony Pollard and like maybe 2 other guys.
Kyron Williams.
Even he didn't get a ton of work last night.
He played every single running back snap.
Yeah, snaps, but I'm talking,
work.
I think you're going to look at Miami as really taking the 1 or 2 running backs, getting regular usage as like the gold standard for this week going forward, whether it is Achane or not. I think
I'm not Achane. I'm going to.
I know it really
sounds a lot cooler. So
yeah. The other thing I'll say is, like, regardless of whether they're playing, against an NFL roster or a bunch of peewees, the game that he and Dancer both had, you don't do that. That doesn't happen.
No.
Even your guys like LT, guys like that, they had a couple games like that in their entire career.
Oh yeah, I mean that's literally in fantasy football history, as far as it's recorded. That's never happened.
Right.
Running backs have never had that many points before.
Right.
It's never on the team. It's never happened.
So that's where, again, we preach, you got to take the jump for Jerome Ford. You got to do it for Kyron Williams if he's available. Definitely have to do it here and see what plays out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's going to pay off though.
I think absolutely by the end of the year he might have a bigger role. I think this was an anomaly, and the ass whooping was so extreme that defense was so beat down. They wanted to go home and cry to their mommies.
There was one picture I saw where Miami was hit halfway up the field, and there were at least 5 Broncos defenders just on the floor, just laying down face down. Just it was over. It's like they just been picked off and dug up.
Oh no! All right, we can move on. I think it's pretty obvious. Alex, who do you have? Do you have a running back that you like?
Yes, I do. Davis knows who this is. This guy's also 5'9", 190, and runs a 4.3 40, and he went to East Carolina University.
Purple!
Go Tigers! Oh,
Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell will be a potential league winner. And that's a potential. When people talk, listen, they rostered 4 running backs this year. 4. Nobody rosters 4 running backs. Nobody. He made a 53-man roster. They said, Melvin Gordon, kick rocks. We're going to bring in Keaton Mitchell because he runs a 4.3 40. And, he's kind of like what Justice Hill was before Justice Hill got hurt. He's small, electric. That dude can go from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. I think they're kind of hiding him on IR. I don't think he's that hurt. I think they hit him on IR, but I go ahead and pick him up this week because people are going to start talking about him next week, and he comes back in 2 weeks. Justice Hill's already banged up. Gus Edwards already banged up.
Justice Hill, his was a concussion, wasn't it?
No, toe injury.
Toe injury. I think there was a chance he could have played last week. They held him out. Unclear what's going to happen this week. But
first, like Keaton Mitchell does, though.
Yeah.
Justice Hill is also available. He was one of the guys that I wrote down. He's like 23% rostered, so I think you can definitely look at him. Bye, Henry. See you later, bud.
Hey, buddy. he got bored talking about Ravens backfield.
Yeah, understandable. Honestly. Yeah, that is Davis's dog for those listening.
Still good boy.
But yeah, that backfield is still Gus Edwards got concussed. He was averaging 7 yards a carry. 5 yards a carry. He was doing pretty well.
They don't care. They're not giving him the ball for whatever reason. He's been better than Justice Hill as far as efficiency. I don't know.
Yeah, significantly better.
He can't pass block. I don't know what it is, but they don't trust him.
Well, he got concussed. I thought he looked pretty good in that game. He was
every game since Dobbins, but
he was
they still aren't giving him
11 carries for 55 yards, and then he got concussed. So that's a pretty good rate. But he is getting concussion pressure.
Carry's awesome. I don't know why they don't use him more.
So yeah, I think Justice Hill is back on this fucking backfield, man.
Yeah,
who knows what the hell's going on there? But it's still worth looking at, and still worth looking to pick up Justice Hill or Keaton Mitchell.
It's a lottery ticket. A-Chan's going to go for A-Chan's going to go for $50 probably, and you get Keaton Mitchell for free and throw him on your IR for a week.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh, I can't wait to be right about that.
I hope you are, because that looks good for ECU. Tajay Spears is my RB that needs to be rostered. He outsnapped Henry 56-38. Obviously, that was a little bit of the game flow because they were just getting blown out, and they had him in on third downs a lot and just passing down, which was what they were trying to do, even though they were atrocious. Which doesn't make my argument sound great, but Tajay Spears should be owned, especially if you have Derrick Henry. Mm-hmm. He's getting run. He's getting opportunities. They haven't been great opportunities, but he is getting opportunities. So Tajay Spears, give him a look. He's getting opportunity.
Yeah, he's owned 0.7% of leagues. He's out there.
Derrick Henry looks like duty butter.
It's almost like somebody thought he'd be a bust this year,
and then took him,
and then drafted him in the first round anyway. We practice what we preach here on FE Fantasy.
Yeah. He's just worth a stash.
Yeah.
Let's move on to wide receivers. David or Alex, you went first.
Yeah.
You have.
You and me?
Oh no, Davis went first.
I'll go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm going to go Josh Downs with the Indianapolis Colts. Man, looked good. He showed out at Carolina. He's a rookie this year. My hesitation with him is
that is
Carolina, the only Carolina.
Not.
Yeah, don't pander.
We are a professional football podcast. Anyways, move on.
Don't make me bring up the Carolina Panthers and where they reside. Anyway, Josh Downs, he's looked really good. My concern is that Gardner Minshew actually airing the ball, throwing the ball, because he had, I believe, 12 targets last game. Or will that go down with Anthony Richardson when he comes back? So I still like him. We're getting into bye season. You need some receivers and you need some guys that are going to get volume. And that past couple games really has been Josh Downs, 8 catches, 57 yards last week. So I'm in on him. And he is available. Very available, ladies. 3.2% of leagues.
Ladies.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one too. I have him on my list as well. Alex, who do you have for wide receivers?
I mean, Tank Dell still isn't owned. I mean, I've talked about Tank Dell the last 2 weeks. If you haven't picked him up by now, you're just not listening.
Is he? What's his percentage?
Who gives a shit? I think I looked it up. I think it was 45% this morning.
Wow.
Because ESPN has been 23.5. Jeez.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Sleeper, I think it's 45. But yeah, I guess they do a lot more dynasty there. Yeah. Because everybody thought he was the one good game. But if you haven't listened yet, you're not going to listen to me. I don't care. Gosh, this guy that's deep, because I've almost brought this guy up a couple times, but the reason I haven't is because there's a guy sitting on IR right behind him. So Nick Westbrook-Ikhine is starting to get a lot more receptions in the slot, and DeAndre Hopkins has been pretty banged up lately. But there's a kid that got drafted in the that they traded up for last year, Kyle Phillips. I know it's kind of a deep name, but he's on IR. He got an MCL sprain, but he was looking really, really good in camp. People have been talking him up, second-year receiver, all the good things that you want in a receiver. And like I said, you play to win. And Tannehill can't throw the ball more than 10 yards anyway, so you want some guys sitting in the slot. So this is deep. This is definitely a deep thing. You're not drafting him. You're not putting him in a 12-team roster. But 16-team or dynasty, I'm going to pick up him and Malik Willis this week in my dynasty league, because I think that it's Malik Willis' job sooner than later. And he had a connection with Kyle Phillips in camp. Kyle Phillips, radar name.
All right. So here's I'm going to do one that is borderline. And ESPN, he is 54% owned, so he still might be out there for you. And he was wide receiver 3 on the week last year, and his name is Adam Thielen. I bet you've heard of him.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to be a homer though. I like that.
We have homers on here.
It's a little over the 50% mark, but it's definitely worth mentioning. He had 11 receptions on 14 targets, 145 yards, and a tutty. That is fantastic production, obviously, for an older gentleman. He's going to continue to get those targets, man. There's doesn't matter who's throwing the ball. He's been getting
33.
Yeah. Yep, but in NFL terms, that is
yeah.
But he looks great at the beginning of the year. He might start to fall apart towards the end of the year. He did the same thing last year. He was a monster at the beginning of the year. He's worth picking up, man. He's worth stashing on your bench, and honestly, he's worth playing right now. I think he is a wide receiver 3 / flex option. Another guy that I like, and it's kind of a combo deal. That was just kind of an aside. He's 54, so he doesn't technically count. The wide receivers for the Los Angeles Chargers, both of them are definitely worth looking at. Joshua Palmer and Quentin Johnston.
Yep.
I actually, for the short term, I like Palmer better.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get more targets. He outsnapped Johnston 40-16 that game. Quentin Johnston, I think, just needs a little bit more time in the system. He's going to get that time now that Williams went down, sadly, with an ACL tear It's a huge bummer. He was having a monster game. He still got you, I think, 26 points in PPR.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Oh, so sad. He was doing nasty things. But this is kind of why they got Quentin Johnston, because they've had lots of trouble with injuries. So it's time for him to step up and put on his big boy pants. But in the interim, I think Palmer knows the system better. He's a vet. I think he's looking for targets. He's going to outsnap him right now for sure. But both of them, I think it kind of depends on what you need. It's like, do you need a floor play that's going to get you, that 12 to 14, or are you looking for down the road upside with Quentin Johnston, because he was a borderline he's second round pick, right?
I think he was second. I'll look that up real quick. Keep talking.
But he's definitely has the draft pedigree, and they like him a lot. He was great.
First round.
He was first round. Okay, great. Then he's got even more of their draft pedigree. So they're going to throw him in there. He's going to be in there on 3 wide receiver sets, and they're going to do that a lot until Austin Eckler comes back. So he will have some opportunity. So there you go.
Yeah,
all right, let's move on to quarterbacks.
And can I just go first, because I don't want Davis to take it?
You have to rock, paper, scissors for it.
Oh, okay.
So, one off.
I shoot.
3, 2, 1. Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah,
on shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right, good.
All right, let's see if Davis does take it.
Jordan Love.
Oh, damn it. That's who I was going to take.
All right.
Fuck.
I think I know who you were going to take, Alex. I flipped the coin in my head.
Actually, you probably had the same too.
Yeah. So Jordan Love, I mean, he's put up 20 plus points all 3 weeks in a row. He's not looked great at times, but he's still getting it done. Obviously, he led the comeback against my poor New Orleans football Saints on Sunday. Again, quarterback's a struggle. We saw, Joe Burrow's hurting if you picked up Stafford like we advised last week, and you're not feeling great about that, which is totally understandable. Still better days ahead for him. Better days ahead for Stafford for sure. Look at Jordan Love. It's not going to be pretty. He's going to get you 55% completion percentage. He should get Christian Watson back someday, next week or two, maybe. Aaron Jones will be back. That'll help tremendously. But he's still hitting. I mean, he made some pretty throws to Jaden Reed. What, 5 weeks?
He is number 4 on the year. He is quarterback 4 still. He's averaging 22.9 fantasy points per game.
And listen, for you Justin Herbert owners, Mason, you got a bye week coming up in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Grab your boy. Go. It's at this point anyway. And that was a good defense that they went up against in New Orleans. They've had a tough schedule the first 3 weeks.
He showed some run. He ran a little bit. Didn't he have a rushing touchdown?
Yes, he did. That was the clincher. He ran past Demario Davis on that, who was an all-pro linebacker.
He's mobile, boys and girls. He's
Yep. So Jordan Love, he's still out there, man. He's owning 47.6% of leagues, so he is getting close to our threshold. But pick him up. That team's going to get better on offense, and it's still early. I like him. I've liked him all year. I think he's going to do really well. And
we've literally talked about him every single week.
Yep.
Alex, who do you have?
I have.
Wait, can I say? Damn it! I was going to say. I knew it.
That's not who I thought you were going to take.
I was going to segue off of Raheem Shaheed. I can't believe that no one said him. Remember these downfield guys that James Winston loves to sling the ball. This dude could go for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns next week. Raheem Shaheed is good at football, and I am so sorry that I talked him down in fantasy circles through the offseason because draft pedigree, like all that kind of stuff, like it didn't
look, draft pedigree.
That's what I'm saying. Like the talent didn't seem there. The dude is good, finds ways to get open, is fast as hell. And he's got Jameis Winston throwing him the football. Jameis Winston can go for 40 points on any given day. If you're looking for upside for the next 2 or 3 weeks or however long Derek Carr is out, Jameis freaking Winston, and I will roster him if I can get him. I might would play him over Trevor Lawrence this week the way Trevor Lawrence is playing.
I can't argue that. I will counter your argument about Jameis, though, being a Saints fan by saying for a week that he can get you 40, he can also get you about -7. So
win the game.
he is your Two-Face from Batman. He's in there flipping a coin, and you saw in the Packers game he just stunk for 2 possessions and then lit it up in that last possession when we missed a field goal. I like it. I'm in on it.
I'd rather have that than freaking Trevor Lawrence torturing me with 8 points.
But the hair, you just got to embrace the hair.
All right, I've got a little double combo for you all for quarterback. Number one, and I like his upside more than this other guy, CJ Stroud, man.
That was the other one I had on my list. Yep.
Looked really good.
Yeah.
He just looks like he's like a 3-year pro out there, man. Yep. He's carving up defenses. He's averaging 17.6 fantasy points per game. He's number 13 on the year. They just look good, man. They can't really run the ball very well, so they've been putting the ball in his hands, and he's stepped up and he's been delivering.
And he moved too. He had a couple scrambles that he looked like he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, which was people were saying that he was sucks. He couldn't scramble. They were comparing him to Jared Goff, which I thought was wildly disrespectful.
Jared Goff beat RN cement. That is not correct.
They saw him against Georgia, right? Like he was running all over the place.
Oh, he was awesome against Georgia.
Yeah. 64.5% of his passes. He has almost 906 yards, which is more than so many more people that are ahead of him. I think there's only one, two. For fantasy purposes, there are two people ahead of him in yardage, which is crazy. He's slinging the ball around,
taking care of the ball in the air. He has fumbled a couple times, but no interception so far.
And he has 4 touchdowns on the year, but that's around the same number as most quarterbacks, honestly, unless you're Kirk Cousins or Tua.
We should have known better. I mean, passing game coordinators coming from the Shanahan tree. I mean, look what Michael Daniels did immediately when he went to the Dolphins, and I mean.
We talked about that a little bit in the preseason, though. We didn't hate.
No, but the discourse around him earlier in the year was not great. Rookie quarterback. I think he tanked his Wonderlic score or something. In the
offseason, he was. Yeah. I mean, Alex was real down on him. Not to call you out, but you did not. You took that way into consideration.
No, I don't think he. I think he would be terrible on the Panthers. But the Panthers have a way different offense. Like. They just need somebody like in a Shanahan system. They just need somebody that delivers the ball on time and runs the plays that they call. It's a super simplified offense. They just need somebody that's accurate and
that is CJ Stroud.
I mean, look at Tua, look at Brock Purdy, look at Jimmy Garoppolo. Just on time, run the offense. You don't need to be smart in that system.
Beautiful transition. Brock Purdy was the other guy I was going to talk about. Keeps getting it done. He just had the best game of his career last week. First time he's thrown over 300 yards. The dude does not know how to not throw 2 touchdowns. I think every game of his career, he has at least 2 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. So he's more of a safe play, but he's not had less than, I think, 14 points in a game. So, when bye weeks come around and you're like, oh shit, I don't want someone to screw me. He's a very safe play. If the rest of your team looks nice and you're like, I just want a guy that's going to get me 14 to 17 points, Brock Purdy.
Yeah, bench Trevor Lawrence and get Brock Purdy.
Big cock Brock. Damn, I fucked that up.
Two tutty party.
Purdy boy. Yep. So we've got tight ends left.
Yep. I just have one on my list right now, which is probably a sin, but Luke Musgrave was good. Back to the well, baby.
We all wanted the Luke Musgrave.
Tight end's a bit of a wasteland out there right now, but he's getting looks and he's looking good, and he's out there.
Yeah, he's 6 of 8 passes caught on Sunday, 49 yards. He was tight end 10. It ain't bad.
He's available in, well over 85% of leagues. He's 13.3% rostered right now. So
yeah,
he's out there, fam.
Yeah, man, it is just a wasteland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do this every single week. We're like Kyler Granson, or who knows? You
know what? I dropped Tyler Higbee, and he goes 5 for 5 for 71 yards. A hole. So now I have to go back to the well and be like, well, do I want him now? So Tyler Higbee's out there. He was my backup in case somebody said. Luke Musgrave.
What I did.
Yeah, well, Tyler Higbee actually outscored Luke Musgrave. So fuck you. Donald Parham Jr.
Oh yeah. Speaking of 2 touchdowns,
has the same amount of catches as he does touchdowns. He has four catches for 4 touchdowns.
We call that high efficiency in this business.
Ridiculous. Actually, I'm so sorry. That was I exaggerated. He has 6 catches for 3 touchdowns.
Still high efficiency.
Apologies. Yeah, honestly, that tight end, Gerald Everett is actually worth looking at. He's just not getting the looks in the end zone because Donald Parham Jr. is 6'8". Good Lord. But besides that, in between the 20s, which is not something you necessarily want to hear in fantasy, he's getting all the looks.
Yeah.
Worth keeping an eye out.
Yeah. Again, if with bye season in the season coming up and you need spot starts, go for the people that are going to either get you a bunch of targets potentially or decent chance of a touchdown.
Yep.
Yeah. I would say Ertz is the only one left with huge upside because of Kyler. Like, that's the only person I can think of that is worth a stash or worth, picking up. Anybody else is just a coin flip, I think.
Yeah. A couple other names just that we didn't mention in general that I think need to be mentioned. Calvin Austin, I'm surprised, Alex, you didn't say anything about him.
Do it again. I mention these guys every week. And
listen, but if you don't preach it consistently, the people.
No, I think I actually disagree. I think we do need to continue to preach it because nobody's going to remember that you said it last week. So
Calvin Austin, Tank Dell, Puka Nacua.
Yeah. Another funny one, because I'm not sure what happened to T. Higgins. We need to keep an eye on that. If Joe Burrow continues to get rolled out there, Tyler Boyd is going to be...
Yeah, he started out hot.
Yeah, I mean, he can't throw the ball very far, and guess who's the slot receiver on that team? Tyler Boyd. He's getting an insane amount of targets, and if T. Higgins is out for any extended period of time, he's definitely going to get those looks. I don't know if he's going to get you any touchdowns, but he might get, 10 targets, 6 catches for 60 yards, and that's a floor play.
Another one, and he was my preseason sleeper. Look at Paris Campbell. He's starting to get more and more targets. I don't know what's going on with Waller. Just isn't.
Oof.
I don't know what it is. But Paris Campbell is getting more targets every week and slowly starting to be the target hog in that offense. Wan'Dale Robinson might eat into that. I don't know. I'm just saying, just keep an eye on Paris Campbell. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I think that's what we got, ladies and gentlemen.
One last for me. I'm sorry. Bengals defense. We should talk defenses every now and then, just as in case people do that. And they have Tennessee next week, so they look against the Rams.
If we're talking defenses, then we definitely need to talk about the Browns. Their defense is elite. They are unbelievable. They essentially pitched a shutout against the Titans last week. I think they turned the ball over, and so they're in territory to kick a field goal. But the offense had 90 yards.
Yeah,
they allowed 90 yards. That's crazy. So and they did that same thing. Didn't they do the same thing to the Bengals?
I mean, they held the Bengals to what, 3 points? Yeah, 3 points. Had a couple sacks. I mean,
I think they had less than 100 yards as well. They are crazy good, man.
They get Baltimore next week, and Baltimore's not shown to be world beaters on offense just yet. They have a bye on week 5.
Lamar is going to be down in my rankings this week. He'll still be potentially startable, but he will be like 10 to 12. They are legit as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm probably leaving the Patriots in my defense for the rest of the year. The worst, they had Miami and they got 4 points. Like, if Miami, you're gonna hope Miami and have 4 points, then I'm like, okay, they were the number 1 defense last year. You get Dallas, you get Raiders, you get who's the next team they're playing? I can't remember. They have a pretty easy schedule. The Saints with Jameis. I don't mean to talk shit about Saints, but with Jameis. So
Hey, you just talked him up. How dare you?
There's a world that he throws for 400 yards, but gives up 7 sacks and 2 picks.
Maybe more than 2 picks, but yeah.
Yeah, let's bump those numbers.
I like the Patriots. People forget they won championships last year as a defense. They were great.
Quick defense strategy talk, because here's a situation I'm facing in our league where I have the Bills. They're playing Miami this week. Bills just put a beat down on Washington, but obviously have just an absolute wood chipper coming at them. Yeah. Do you pick up another defense and give them a break because their schedule looks good, or do you just pray for no negative points and see what happens with somebody like the Bills or a top 5 defense?
Well, I think
that's a good question. They are,
and then you just leave them in, and you can just bench them.
1 o'clock Sunday.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
I say you have to keep the Bills. Their defense is going to be good the rest of the year. They do have tough schedule.
Yeah, their schedule
is tough though.
It's freaking loaded.
Yeah.
That last 10 games is.
Yeah, I don't know.
You like them? I like them a lot until week 12 when they get Philly. Everything else except for Miami, like they have Jacksonville, Giants, New England, Tampa, Cincinnati, Denver, Jets. What? And then it's Philly by Kansas City, Dallas, Chargers. Oof. So
yeah, I say you got to keep them for now. So maybe you just roll them out there. I don't. Are they at home at least?
You're asking all these hard questions. They are at home. So you can expect 3 feet of snow because it's Buffalo.
I don't like. I mean, like you said, the Miami, the Patriots still had 4 points against Miami, and I don't know if that defense is quite as good, but it's probably close-ish.
Skylar Thompson put up 31 against Buffalo in the playoff game last year. I don't know if I played Buffalo defense against Miami.
and my question is more just general. Like, you have a top 5 defense, you don't like the matchup, you don't want to carry.
League, I'm okay having 2 defenses.
Yeah.
You can get guys
at least for a week. Yeah. Spot start, I'm okay with that. Yeah. If you find, if I would rather, if for some reason the Cleveland defense is on waivers, I'd pick them up and play them over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Excellent.
Alex, you got a FU Twitter FUX/Bucks for us?
We need a hand signal before we get there, so I don't have to go, oh,
it's the next thing. You should have it prepped.
I didn't know we were ending. I thought we might go to kickers because people like to play with kickers here, apparently.
What are kickers? I don't know what that is.
I don't know. You guys play with them. I don't know. Jackson Smith and Jigba. This is so totally random. I did not do this on purpose, by the way. 87th in yards per route run. He is basically, this guy says, this is Danny Carter. He said he's basically Juju Smith-Schuster right now and would not play. I think that's going to change. We've already talked about this, but
we didn't talk about it on air.
Record it. We had a slightly animated discussion around Jackson Smith and Jigba before recording that no one will ever hear.
He's going to be good at the end of the year. He's not playable right now.
Yeah.
I think that Jonathan Taylor's going to get traded. Listen to this. Avoided tackle leaders through 3 games. Note, Zach Moss did not play the first game. Travis Etienne has 20 avoided tackles. Mostert 19, McCaffrey 17, Zach Moss 16. And he didn't play a game.
He's looking good.
He's looking great. Yeah.
He looks absolutely.
That touchdown pass he caught, Minshew just lofted it over the corner or linebacker, I guess, and he did a little fingertip catch to get in the end zone. It was. Mm-hmm. They have no reason to bring Jonathan Taylor back right now.
Right. And knowing Irsay's gonna be like, we don't need you. Get out of here. Yeah. We got Zach Moss. But you might be right. Rams running back snap counts in week 3. Kyron Williams, 55. Everyone else, 0.
I mean, they looked pretty abysmal on offense, but that defense again is legit. And Davis is very right. They're gonna house people. That poor Titans offense. I think better days are probably ahead for Kyron Williams. But he didn't look great yesterday, honestly.
He looked. Stafford missed him. He missed him a lot.
He missed him on some, but he just. I honestly think they should have run the ball a lot more than they did. So again, I think better days are ahead. But that also is a tough defense. So
yeah, they had their offensive line. I mean, they both took tackles out. Stafford had to get the ball out quicker than he wanted to. I think he was just off.
Yeah,
I think you're right. I think better days are ahead. All right, last one. Scott Barrett, Broncos longest gains of 2023 season.
Ooh,
1, Marvin Mims, 99 yards. 2, Marvin Mims, 60 yards. 3, Marvin Mims, 53 yards. 4, Brandon Johnson, 50. 5, Jerry Jeudy, 46. 6, Marvin Mims, 45 yards. 7, Marvin Mims, 38 yards. 8, Marvin Mims, 30 yards. 9, Marvin Mims, 30 yards. 10, Marvin Mims, 25 yards. Mims
Sean Payton's a really good coach, though, right?
Oh, yeah. Brilliant offensive mind.
Yeah.
Mims has just 7 catches this year and 5 kick returns, and he has 8 of the longest games of the year for the Broncos.
Why are they not airing that ball out more?
Yeah, I thought
that's what fucking.
I thought Russell Hustle's fan muscle was all about the deep ball.
He is, which is why you think Sean Payton would fucking queue up a couple more. Wow.
Not today, Junior.
Man, he also had a touchdown run back last week.
Yeah. Somebody talked about him too. I guess I should talk about him. Yeah, Marvin Mims was also
available in your league.
Preseason guy.
Put it that way. Yeah.
I don't want to talk about the same guys over and over again, but Marvin Mims is also a guy.
No, we need to talk about. We need to.
I know. That's what I'm trying to do right now.
Marvin Mims is owned in 8.6% of leagues. Our listeners are not listening to us.
No,
might bump that up to 8.7%. But
all 16 of our listeners.
Love every one of you.
All right,
for the Dynasty guys to listen, so I can't talk about what I'm doing in Dynasty anymore.
Oh no, you got to let them know, buddy. You got to let them know.
I haven't said anything I actually believe because you two knuckleheads are in the league. I'm just kidding.
2. I know it is kind of like fuck. I can't trade with you.
Yeah.
We all know each other's goddamn mindsets.
No, I'm open as a book.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm looking at Zach Moss.
It's a haiku book. But
look at Moss on your team.
That's a fun idea. I'd play chicken with that.
What?
Go after Zach Moss.
Yeah, Davis. What do you want? What do you want for Zach Moss?
How much time do you have?
Well, here, real quick, just because this is fun and entertaining, at least to me.
Yeah.
My team, would you take? And I'm just throwing things out here. Would you do Tyler Lockett?
See, my problem. So in a vacuum, I would probably do that. In the league we're talking about, listeners, is a auction league. I have Chris Olave, Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase, so I'm good on that.
Mm-hmm.
Receivers aren't exactly a need for me. And I have the George Pickens and JSN on my bench. So I'm really looking. I have James Cook and ETN as my starting running backs. I would look to upgrade on James Cook, which is weird because he's like number 12 right now.
Would you take Joe Mixon?
Possibly.
He's swimming.
He does. That's I haven't owned him yet.
How about Alexander Madison?
I'm going to go no. Not that one. Considering I said mean things about him yesterday.
What about Saquon Barkley and something else from you?
Oh, something else from me?
Yeah. Moss and something for Barkley.
Now we might be having a conversation. Let's go see how
do that.
Let's go see how high this actual ankle sprain is.
It's medium. Remember, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Rashad Johnson, Zach Moss, straight up.
Oh, that
that's really interesting.
We could be onto something.
That's really interesting.
No, but
about,
I mean, here's what's
gonna. I know that you just said you didn't love wide receiver. What about Tutu Atwell?
Again, in a vacuum,
day long.
In a vacuum, I'd look pretty hard at that. Right. Tutu's, and he had a.
I feel swirly.
Yeah. He got robbed of a touchdown, and then ended up scoring one at the end of the game. Tutu did.
Yeah, he's projected by ESPN. He's projected 13.3. That's pretty high.
What's going to happen is I'm finally going to get brave enough to start Zach Moss this week, and then he's going to put up like 3 points. So
Tutu Atwell, I might be playing Tutu Atwell this week. He's
you were definitely playing him.
Yeah.
I mean, I have Ridley, Lamb.
It's in 3 games.
I have Ridley, Lamb, and Lockett. Do I start him over Lockett?
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, I might even start him over Calvin Ridley because he's going against the Falcons, and that's Jeff Okudah and AJ
Terrell. Yeah.
Terrell. And
I think he's. I've been thinking about sneaking him in my lineup. I was thinking Lockett, but Lockett has the Giants.
I would start him. I would start him over Calvin Ridley. He did not look.
Oh, they're playing Indianapolis too. Oh, he's definitely getting started. Yeah. I have to.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I love it. I love Tutu Atwell. I got him for $5 man.
There we go. You'd be a free agent acquisition.
So snickerdoodle.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Nobody cares about teams. But I was just thinking, get in the trade season, people. We're going to do an episode. We are going to
always
do an
listening.
episode on trades. People who buy lows, sell highs this week, because I always think that it is the crucial time. Week 3, week 4 is when you can start looking to get things moving. People are still afraid about players. But you also don't know, like, we're only 3 weeks in. There's players that you could probably get for steals. So we will talk about that.
Kyle Pitts.
We do know about Kyle Pitts.
Hey, man.
We've been
at 8.7 points or something.
We've been knowing.
He's like, where's Tyler Higbee?
He was a top 10 play this fucking week. Jesus Christ.
Where's Tyler Higbee?
Ugh. All right, we got to get out of here.
Anyway.
All right.
And as we say at the end of every episode, say it with me now.
You
fantasy. Bye now.
Deuces.